Let's talk about Chloe, her details, and theories about her future. There will be spoilers from episodes 1 to 4, so I suggest you play through the game or watch a playthrough before watching any theories. When I try to dig into the outcomes for Chloe's future in Life is Strange, I end up with entirely too many questions and more confused than when I started. But here's my contribution to the conversation that I have yet to see considered anywhere else. Maybe someone smarter than me can piece this together into a bigger, more thorough theory. Chloe Price is Max's best friend, and as I discussed in my theory video relating to Max, I believe Chloe's role is as integral to the plot as Max's role. Chloe is 19-year-old daughter of William and Joyce Price. After the death of her father William, Chloe's mother Joyce marries David Madsen, Blackwell's head of security. I first want to discuss Chloe's character in detail, her personality traits, but I also want to push in a theory here. Catcher in the Rye is a book frequently referenced in the game and also cited as one of the inspirations for the game. It's theorized Max's last name is then a reference to Holden Caulfield, the main character of Catcher in the Rye. We also see this and this.
Only a total phony would wear a crappy hat like that.
Which are physical references to the book in-game, but I have a theory that Chloe is also a sort of reference to the book. What I mean is, Holden and Chloe are similar in the way that they behave, interact, and look at the world. Very briefly, Catcher in the Rye is about Holden Caulfield and what has largely been interpreted as his journey against or away from adulthood, and what he and the reader perceive it stands for: conformity, hypocrisy, and blending into societal norms. But let's look at Holden more closely. Holden is intelligent and sensitive, though he's frequently doing badly at school, even being expelled and moving from one school to another. He also narrates in this very cynical and jaded way. Chloe is very similar here. In episode 2, we see that she knows a lot about chaos theory, which is a field of study in mathematics. We later go on to see in episode 3 that Chloe was in trouble at school frequently, and that she was failing her classes. However, when we go to the alternate reality, we again see that Chloe was very smart. She was doing very well across the board. She's also similarly extremely jaded and cynical. She generally distrusts the motives of most people and has little respect for people whose values or goals she perceives as meaningless or greedy, often ridiculing them. She is quite sensitive also, and the cynicism is often merely a front to protect herself from the pain and disappointment in her life. Similarly to Holden, who also does this, often alienating himself from people as a means to protect himself from having his perception of the world shaken or changed, which is ultimately his strength and weakness in one, much like Chloe. Holden is stuck between childhood, which he romanticizes, and adulthood, which he paints as all things bad, mostly because to him, adulthood is confusing and scary. Not knowing how to navigate his way in between or towards the inevitable, Holden is left in an emotional collapse. Chloe also does this. Being an adult would mean dealing with reality, and dealing with reality often means accepting grief and loss into your life, eventually leading to acceptance and the ability to move forward and on. It would mean, in her mind, that she's forever left behind childhood where everything was innocent, happy, and unbroken. It would also mean being vulnerable, because she would have to leave behind this in-between phase called adolescence. It would mean she can no longer continue to alienate and put up walls around her as a means to avoid feeling. Upon her version of reality being shaken or changed, Chloe resorts to blame, emotional outbursts, and anger. We can see this when she finds out Rachel wasn't entirely truthful about her relationship with Frank, which leads her to question her entire friendship with Rachel and lashing out at Max, even going back to talking about her father's death. She wants to resist growing up because the prospect of that scares and confuses her. Holden considers the adult world as superficial hypocrisy, even though he doesn't really understand what that means entirely or why he feels this way, because it makes him question things that make him uncomfortable, and I think this resonates with where Chloe is. Trapped on the other side, continually trying to find a way into somewhere where she thinks she doesn't belong. So what is Chloe's purpose to the plot? I mentioned in the theory video about Max how Chloe is integral to Max's growth and vice versa. So, let's not venture into that. What is Chloe's purpose on a deeper personal level? So here's the worst case scenario for the ending in my opinion. Chloe will die. I think, or hope at the very least, Chloe will be given the chance at learning and understanding acceptance before she does. In my opinion, this would be the most predictable and unsatisfying ending for the story. It's pretty clear at this point they want us to believe the approaching end will come in the form of a sacrifice of life, but maybe this doesn't have to be the case. If the perception is that Max's powers or Chloe's life are the cause behind the storm, then why is the storm still seemingly coming in the alternate reality? Alternate reality Max doesn't have time-traveling powers, and Chloe is dying, so clearly it's got to be something else, right? Let's ignore the reasons behind the storm and think more relating to Chloe. Perhaps instead of Max needing Chloe's help, as I suggested in Max's theory video, it's Chloe that needs Max's help, if only to keep her alive long enough to figure out and fix things. Maybe once these things are fixed, the universe will stop trying to kill Chloe. Maybe there isn't one destiny or fate, but many in different realities, and maybe she was only destined to die because in the original timeline, she does die. Samuel says something really interesting that I think is very relevant to this in episode 4 regarding Kate and her destiny. He said, he believed in destiny in many different lifetimes, and Kate believed in something different, so that was her destiny, implying destiny is in our hands, in our choices, in our beliefs, so maybe Chloe is only destined to die because she wants to. Let's listen more closely to what Samuel says.
Could have gone either way. Samuel, do you think that we each have a destiny?
Yes, I do, Max. In many different lifetimes, of course. Kate Marsh believed in something different, so that's her destiny.
I believe you.
Kate just needed some more helpful spirits like her friend Max. I hope she finds them now.
Think about all those dying birds.
Samuel had to bury dozens near the Tabanga.
Is that cool with the Tabanga?
We'll find out if the souls of the bird move on. Not that we can prove it.
It's so ominous.
Unless it's fate, then it doesn't matter.
He seems to use the words destiny and fate in different regards. Now this might seem nitpicky, but what if he intended for them to sound different? He made destiny sound changeable with our beliefs and actions, but fate seemed to be used in the opposite way, like it's unchangeable, so it's pointless to question it. In modern language, the two terms are interchangeable in casual conversation, but Samuel seemed quite purposeful in how he distinguished the two. Fate is a preordained course of life that will occur in spite of a person's actions.
It's so ominous.
Unless it's fate, then it doesn't matter.
Destiny is a predetermined set of events that will occur, which can be shaped by a person's actions.
I do, Max. In many different lifetimes, of course. Kate Marsh believed in something different, so that's her destiny.
If we look at things from this perspective, some things make a little more sense. Max's powers were not fatefully hers, but given by destiny, a set of choices and actions that led her to them. We can back this up by looking at the alternate reality. Max is a different person entirely who makes different choices and does different things, so consequently, we can see she has no powers. But what does this say about Chloe? She's dying in the alternate reality despite her being a different person who chose different actions. She's even more mature and accepting, so is death her fate or destiny? As usual, please remember that my theories are never intended to be seen as the only right answer. I don't believe in any theory to be the one right answer as of now, so take them with a grain of salt. Use them as an interesting scenario or something to contribute to your own theories. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I love the feedback and alternative or similar views, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more in the future.